Hello and welcome to episode 16 of the Lumi Knits podcast. My name's Hayley and I am coming to you from Wadawurrung land. So I want to thank the Wadawurrung people for their ongoing custodianship of the ancient land where I live and work. I also want to recognise their enduring connection to the land, skies and waterways that I'm so lucky to share. I pay my respects to all Wadawurrung people and their elders past, present and emerging. Wadawurrung land is also known as Ballarat in beautiful Victoria, Australia. I haven't been in for a while, so I'm a bit rusty. So if you're a new viewer, welcome. If you're coming back, thanks for coming back in again. It's nice to see you. If you want to find me in other places, you can find me on Instagram at lumi.knits or on Ravelry at Lumi Knits AU, all lowercase. Sorry if I'm a bit stuffy, I have a cold. I feel like I've had a cold for probably about 95% of the past 2 months. So I've had COVID, I've had the flu, and now I've got just a very annoying generic cold. So it's making me a little short of breath and a bit husky. So some people like that. Hopefully it's okay with you. Anyway, I can't do anything about it. So if it's not okay, maybe check out a different video. As I said, it's been a while since I've dropped in to do a podcast and I really wanted to pop in today. It's my birthday today and I wanted to show you the yarn that I'm going to use in my birthday cast on. So I'll come to that a little later in the business. I am glancing down a bit. As I said, I'm rusty and all my notes are in front of me on the tripod. So if I'm looking down there, that's why. I'm going to do this as a traditional podcast format. I really want to start doing vlogs, but I have got no idea how to do vlogs. I understand the theory, but every time I try and put it into practice, I just can't seem to put together anything I'm happy with. So I'm going to stick with a traditional podcast format. I'm going to show you some finished objects. I'm going to show you my works in progress, and I'm going to talk about my upcoming plans. And probably just jabber on a little bit because that's what I do. So I'll get straight into the finished objects. I'm actually wearing one at the moment. This is the Agnes sweater vest by Bethany Lynne. It's a crocheted granny square vest pattern. What I really like about this is the knitted hems. So I've done a knitted neck, armholes and hem. And I did a tubular bind off with this, which is something I don't normally do. And I probably won't do again because it was a pain. I knit this in the yarns that I bought for my Stephen West Mystery Knit Along in 2022. I can't remember what it was called, but I just didn't, I think it was Twists and Turns. But I got probably halfway through Clue 2 and I just didn't love it. I liked the colours, but I didn't enjoy the pattern. And then the next Clue came out and I looked at it and I was just like, no thank you, I don't want to continue with this. So I frogged it and I've used the yarns to create this granny square vest. Now, I'm not very good at sizing. I thought this was going to be too small and it's actually turned out huge, like the armpits are down here. I'm not going to stand up and show you because I don't actually think it's really worth looking at. I don't love it. It's too oversized. It doesn't have the kind of cool, sleek look I was going for. It's just more sloppy and pilly. I think that's partly the yarn. This is Bendigo's Tranquility yarn, and after I bought this for the Mystery Knit Along, I did hear that it pilled quite a lot. I think it's a bamboo wool blend, maybe some nylon in there, but yeah, it's fine. It's just not very nice. So I knit up, crocheted up all the granny squares, whip stitched them together and did these edgings. There's not really much to say about it. As I said, I don't love it. It's more of something I wear when I kick around the house, which is not ideal when you spend this much time on something. You want to be able to, feel really proud about it and wear it out and, hope someone asks you about it so you can talk about it. But yeah, this just wasn't that for me. But it's really nice and warm. It's, a bit of a homebody outfit, I suppose, and I am very much a homebody. So yeah, that's the Agnes sweater vest by Bethany Lynne. If I was going to do this again, I would choose my yarns more carefully. I held the 4-ply fingering weight yarn double in this, and I think next time I would go for a straight DK, maybe even a chunkier weight than that, maybe a worsted or an Aran, to just get through the granny squares quicker. I am not a good crocheter. I can do it, but I'm not good at it because I don't know what the styles are, but my style is not anyone's style except Mum's. So good job, Mum. I get really sore wrists from it, but I kind of crochet like you knit. Make of that what you will. But yeah, so crocheting is not very enjoyable for me because it's slow, it's tedious, and it hurts my hands. And I think that's probably why I gravitated towards knitting in the first place. So I'm going to show you some other finished products now. My uncle's birthday is also today. We're birthday buddies. I was born on his 30th birthday. So each birthday for him, I make him a pair of socks. And I have made him a pattern I've done before. This is the Laid Edges sock by Kellie someone. I'll put the proper pattern details in the description box. Kellie Macpherson, I think her name is. And this is an absolute cracker of a pattern. It's beautifully written, easy to follow, and such a great product. I've got the camera facing away from me, so I can't see what I'm showing you. I hope that you can get the detail on this, just this little feathery slipped stitch, almost cable-like pattern. It's really beautiful, and I've knit this up in Bendigo Woolen Mills yarn. I can't remember what it's called. I cast on the largest size, I think, which was 56 stitches, and it's got a heel flap and gusset and the rounded toe that I got from Modern Daily Knitting that I use in most of my socks. And they've come up really nicely. I haven't blocked them yet, but I am going to block them because I'm seeing my uncle on Saturday to celebrate our birthdays, and I'm going to give them to him then. So hopefully he likes them. I think he will because he really enjoys handmade socks, and I'm the only one that makes them for him. So I think he's going to love those. The next finished object is another pair of socks that I'm going to gift on Saturday, and these are for my little brother. His birthday is 10 days after mine, and so we're celebrating his birthday on Saturday as well. And these ones are a self-drafted pattern. I wanted to do something with 2 colours, but I didn't want to do colour work. I don't love doing colour work in socks. I find it tedious and I don't like the lack of stretch. So I did a little braid around the top, just after the cuff. Excuse me, a fish lips kiss heel, and with that one I held a merino with a sort of reinforcing yarn that I had left over from my socks, the Lang Jarwal socks that come with a little reinforcing yarn. I had some left over, so I used that in the heel, and then just that just that braid around the toe to give it a little bit of extra colour. So I think they've come up really nicely. I've never made socks for my brother before. I don't know that he's going to love them. I hope he does, but if he doesn't, I tried. What I really like about this yarn, again, this is Bendigo Woolen Mills, is that this is a really deep blue, but it's got sort of like a, almost like there's a tiny, tiny, tiny little bit of red in there. So the red around the top and the heel and the toe really kind of pop, but it ties in really well. It's not just a flat blue. So this is a really beautiful one to use. It's a machine washable one. So this will be good for my brother because he'll just be able to chuck them in the machine and we won't have to worry about any particular laundering. Yeah, so these are Jack's socks. I did want to mention a tip that I came across a while ago that I've been using every time I do a 1x1 rib, and that is the short row purl. So I used to be a huge fan of twisted rib cuffs and twisted rib in general, but now I've come across these short purl stitches. It's been a real game changer for my socks because twisted rib is kind of time consuming, a bit more time consuming, and it can be too clean. It can, in a rustic thing like this, it can be too clean. So this short row purl is great because essentially what you do, instead of wrapping your yarn around the back in a normal purl stitch, you wrap it around the front, which makes it just that little bit shorter, that tightens it up a bit, and it makes your ribbing really neat. I'm waving it around. I should probably hold it. I don't know if you can see it. I need to put a mirror behind the camera, but I didn't do that today. So the short pearl stitch makes your ribbing really neat. These aren't block jet either, and I think that when I do block these, it'll be even neater than what they are now. So overall, super happy with these. I banged out both pairs of socks in about a month, which for me is pretty fast. I'm not a fast knitter by any stretch, but I really wanted to get these done. I had sort of set today as a deadline for myself, so that's my brother's socks. Next thing I wanted to show you, I'm not sure if I cast this on last time or not. This is a jumper for my son. His name is August, and I came across the Blue August pattern by Drops Design, and I decided I was going to make one for him. So I let him choose yarn from my stash, and he chose this really beautiful, like surprisingly beautiful yarn. It's a spotlight yarn. It's Moda Vera Moda, and I think it's a wool and mohair blend. It's not lovely to knit with, but once you block it and wash it, it goes so soft, and it has just like a little halo, which I hope you can see, of green, and it's just this really nice sort of mild green. I didn't do the textured stitches in this Blue August sweater just because I didn't want to. I just wanted a straight up one because, call me crazy, I've kept a couple of extra balls of that Moda Vera yarn for when he grows. He's like a skinny kid and he tends to shoot up. So I've kept a couple of balls of it in case I want to add to the body or the sleeves at some point. So it's already perilously short. We did try it on and he said it was great, but he's always going to say it's great because he's a sweetheart. So I think at some point I'm going to have to do some surgery and add probably 10 rows in the body. But not now. He's happy with it now. It fits now. And I'm really, really happy with it. The pattern itself is a free pattern. Nothing really to speak of. It's just a basic little raglan. If I was using a flatter, more solid colour, I think I probably would have done the texture. But because of the colours in this, the sort of mild colours in it, I just felt like it wasn't necessary to do that texture. So he loves it and I love him, so we're all very happy with that. That's my last knitting finished object, and I'm pretty happy about that because I've really knocked over a few things that have been sitting on my needles for a while and some things that I really wanted the finished product. I've also frogged a few things. So I frogged the little dot socks by Summer Lee that I was making. They were really cute and I loved them, but because of the, as I said earlier, because of the floats, they're just tight and I don't enjoy that. And I also struggle to knit the colour work on the 9-inch circulars. So it's nothing against the pattern. It's great pattern, well written, enjoyable, but way too fiddly for my 9-inch circulars, and I'm not really a magic loop girl or a DPN girl, so I guess that's just not for me. But I might use that idea sometimes when I'm doing my own drafted stuff. So I really like the spots. They're very, very cute. So I frogged that one. I frogged something else as well. Can't remember. But if there's something that I've mentioned that I haven't shown and you want to know about it, leave me a comment and I can update you on that progress, because as it stands, I only have, I think, 3 whips. So my very last finished object that I wanted to show is a project bag. Now, this is my little birthday present to myself. I went to a shop here in Ballarat called Gail's Patchwork Emporium, and Gail's Patchwork Emporium has the most beautiful array of fabrics, and it's an experience. If you're a person who has access to come to Ballarat, I would highly recommend dropping in there because it's just an absolute treasure trove. So I was actually in there getting fabric to make my kids an Easter bag, and then I saw this fabric and I had to get it. So I'm going to show it to you. It's mushrooms and leaves and sticks and stars and moons and poppies and bugs, and it is just beautiful. I love the colours, I love the motifs on it. It is just gorgeous fabric. So I bought some for myself with the express intention of making a new project bag. And it just so happened I had coordinating linen left in my stash from something else. And so I made this lovely, lovely project bag that I'm so happy with. This is a pattern from, oh, where is it? Kandou Crafts. The pattern's just up there. And it's called the Kato project bag. It comes in 3 sizes. It's a great pattern. I've made this several times and I will definitely make it again. So really happy with this. It's got a grab handle. I've got some pockets in this one and it's just lovely. So that's my last work in progress, and I really wanted to do this by today because, excuse me, I have got a project that I want to cast on. I have these 2 skeins of Fibersmith 4-ply merino, and I would really like to make a Crawford scarf / shawl out of them. I previously made a Crawford in Juniper, oh gosh, what's it called? Juniper Mills, perhaps? I'll pop it in the information down below. Patagonia, and it's beautiful, but a very rustic yarn, very, very rustic, non-superwash, very like bits of hay, straw, grass, whatever in it, and I really love it. It's in black and white, just as in the pattern picture, and like gorgeous thing that I wear all the time in winter. And I really wanted to make it in this sort of goldy brown and off-white, because I thought that it would sort of be a bit elevated because this is a merino, it is softer, it is a lot more refined, and I thought it would make a really beautiful one of those. So I'm doing this in the colourways copper and flax, and today I'm going to wind these up, cake them up, pop them in the project bag because it's all very, very coordinating. So I thought this was just a really nice little birthday present for myself. So that'll be my birthday cast on, and I'm very excited about that. It's not technically a whip because I haven't started it, but it will be a whip by the end of the day. So that's my first whip. The next one that I'm going to show you, I haven't gotten very far on it. I do want to make it, but I forgot where I'm up to in the pattern, and I haven't had the inclination. I have had the time, I haven't had the inclination to sort of go back through and read my knitting to work out where I'm at. So this is the Simple Thing by Melina Burrell. This is very similar to a Sophie scarf, but I think her Melina's pattern was out first, and it's just a garter stitch I-cord triangular shawl. Very basic, but it's super cute, very soft because I'm doing this in a Great Ocean Road Woolen Mills alpaca, and it's gorgeous. It's so squishy. And it's going to be a really nice scarf for the winter. There's not really much to say about that. I've made very little progress. Like if I can hold it in front of my shoulders to show you, then it tells you that's nowhere near done. This is how much yarn I've got left. It's a hand wound ball, so there's a lot. It's hefty. I reckon there's probably about at least 100 grams there. So that's something that I've been working on. Well, I haven't been working on. It's one of my whips, I should say. I shouldn't say I've been working on because that's not true. The next thing that I've been working on is just my travel socks that I keep in my handbag. I have one finished one. It's just a vanilla sock. Couldn't even tell you much about it really, just a vanilla sock. And this yarn is from Yarns by the Bay, and I think it's called Almost Spring or something along those lines, and it's a very pretty colourway. I really, really like this one. It's just a modified eye of partridge heel, rounded toe. That's that. So I keep those in my bag, and when I'm out and about and I've got to wait for 5 minutes, I just knit on it a little bit. So this is the second sock. You can see I'm probably about halfway through the foot, through the leg, and I'll just continue with that as the mood takes me. It's not something I really knit on at home. When I'm at home, I try and do things that I can't do when I'm out. And so the thing that I've been knitting on at home, nice segue, is my Alpine Bloom by Caitlin Hunter. Now, this is a special one for me because I'm knitting it in some beautiful yarn that I was just really searching for the right pattern for. It's Merino Silk Yak in the shade Burnished from Fluff and Nonsense. And it's this gorgeous sort of coppery, rose goldy colour. And for the contrast colour, I have used Burgundy Luxury Sock by Daffodil Road Artisan Yarns. And I won this in a giveaway from Mad About You. And I really love how it's coming up. I've finished the colourwork section. I've split for the sleeves and I'm onto the body. Now, I haven't tried this on because I'm terrified. It looks tiny. I should try it on, but I'm not going to today. I don't want to ruin my day if I try it on and it's as small as I think it is. I'm knitting a size 4. I usually knit a size 5, but my measurements matched up to the size 4, so I thought it would be okay. I swatched, so it's not an issue. Usually I'm a reluctant swatcher, but I did do it for this just because this yarn is so precious to me and this is something I really want. But I just feel, I feel like it's very, very small. But we'll see. Hopefully by next time I record, I've tried it on and I can either say, hooray, it fits, it's not as small as I thought it was, or I will have frogged it to make something else. So I don't want to. The colour work took me forever. This has been going for a long, long time. Something I am a little bit disappointed in. I really love this deep burgundy colour, but there's some spots in it that are like, you can see here and here, hopefully. There's some spots that are like a brighter red, and I think that's where the yarn was tied when it was dyed. And it just, the dye hasn't soaked in as well. And they really do stand out. If I hold it up, you can see they really do stand out. But that is the back. This is the front. So I don't think there's any of those spots on the front. There are a few where it's lighter but not super visible. So I think I can live with that because it's on the back. I'm not going to see it, so I don't actually care. It's got this gorgeous little lacy collar, and I'm hoping I don't have the Caitlin Hunter funnel neck problem again. I'll cry if I do. I will really, really cry. But cross your fingers for me. All this will be revealed in time. We'll see. I'm also alternating skeins with the main colour, which is the Burnished by Fluff and Nonsense. I've never alternated skeins before, but I've never knit a large garment in a hand-dyed yarn before. So I'm hoping that it prevents any pooling. I'll keep you updated. So that is my other whip. I only have 3 whips, which is crazy for me. Like usually I'm up around 10, 11. I don't know what's happened. I feel like I've only frogged the little dot socks. I feel like I've only frogged those. So I don't know where all my whips went. Anyway, I don't think I've lost any. I can't remember. I think I just finished some things. So that's really good. I'm looking forward to building up my whips again because 3 doesn't feel like enough. So my plans. I've already talked about my Crawford shawl that I'm going to cast on hopefully today. Another plan that I have is my Soldotna, which I knit years ago and I've loved and loved and loved. It's kind of come out of shape quite a lot and I'm finding that the cropped length of it is just too cropped. So I am going to add some length to the bottom ribbing. It probably comes not even to my, I can't count my ribs. It probably only comes to about there on me and it's just too short. I do really love this garment and I did get a lot of wear out of it, but my body shape's changed. I need something a little bit longer now. So I'm going to unpick the cast off. And I feel like I'm just going to continue this ribbing for another chunk. So it's a bit longer, a bit more fitted in the waist. And hopefully I can continue to wear and love this garment because it's really been just a pleasure. So that's one of my plans. I've got no idea how I'm going for time. I really hope I pressed record. I don't want to re-record this. But I do have one more thing to show you. And that is, I have the most lovely teaching partner this year. I'm only working 1 day a week and she does the other 4 in our classroom. And she went on holidays to Tasmania and she brought me back these gorgeous little knitting needles. These are Tasmanian oak timber. They're handmade, gorgeous little knitting needles, and they've got little mushroom tops and they're just beautiful. And I was so touched that she would think of me on her holiday and choose something for me that she knew I'd love. So that was just such a lovely thing. It's nice when you work with people who get you, and she gets me. So I really wanted to show those today. They're by Art Viva, made in Tasmania in Australia. So I think that's all. I was going to record this earlier in the day, but I've had a lot of phone calls today, and I also had to clean up my studio. My studio was an absolute tip. We've redone the floor, so I've got some really nice floating floorboards in here now. I've gotten rid of a lot of things. I've cleaned out my stash quite a lot and pared it down. I've got most of it in drawers now, so it's protected from dust, and I'm sort of really slowly building it into the space that I want it to be. So you've got the best view at the moment, apart from my head, but you've got one of the nicest parts of the studio at the moment. I've got my spinning wheel over here. I've got the sewing machine over there. I'm going to put some shelves up on this back wall and move the artwork around, and I think it's just going to be a really lovely light space that really reflects and be a little bit more than what it did before. Excuse me. It used to have this most horrible carpet that's through our whole house, and it's a magnet for fibre. So spinning was a nightmare because all the fleece would just spread and stick, and if I wanted to get it off, I had to get down with a roller and get it off. Vacuuming was pointless, but now these floating floorboards, I can just sweep and then vacuum and it's done, and they look beautiful, and my chair rolls around much easier, and it's a much more enjoyable space to be in. Still needs some work over in that part, but you can't see that, so that's good. And I just need to sort out some storage, and it's just going to be a really great space that's just for me. So I'm extremely lucky to have that. I've got a beautiful view out the window, and I'm just really happy to be in here. So that's been really fun too. I think I'm going to stop there because I feel like I've prattled on a little bit. Nice to be back. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming by. If you've got any questions or comments, feel free to pop them in the questions and comments box. I was going to do like a watching, listening, podcast, observing thing, but I don't think I will. I think I'll save that for next time. I'd love to get back to a monthly sort of podcast, but we'll see. Just have to wait and see. It all depends on what's going on in my world, and that can be unpredictable. So we'll let it be what it'll be. Wherever you are and whatever you're doing, I hope you have a wonderful day today. I hope the sun's shining if that's what you're into. I hope it's raining if that's what you like. But I just hope it's wonderful whatever it is. I'll see you next time.